Hi, I'm Dave in real life and welcome to part 2 of the weekly wrestling review. In this edition I am going to be looking at AEW, NXT and Smackdown. So without further ado, we're going to go into my first review, which is AEW Dynamite. On the show we had the TNT Open Challenge. Cody was taking on Warhorse. Warhorse being a top indie talent at the moment, so it's good to see him having a chance on AEW. Don't know if he will sign for AEW, but you never know what the future has in hold for the up and coming wrestlers. This match was a fairly solid match. Good performance by Warhorse on his big break. Cody ends up retaining, which pretty much we'd all expected. There was a bit of a ruckus at the end where the Dark Order came out to attack Cody. He was getting a serious beatdown, but ho and behold, a friend came a-calling. That friend being always ready, Matt Cardona. Yes, aka Zack Ryder, has now gone into AEW. Not confirmed as a signing as yet, but there's already an Always Ready t-shirt on the AEW website. So yeah, expect it to be confirmed extremely soon. This was one of many shocks throughout AEW on their episode this week. We go on to highlight number 2, which is not a match, it's just more of an announcement. I've chosen this because it really should help highlight the female division, and it is a women's tag team tournament which is going to be aired on YouTube I think next week. The people that are taking involved will each pick a coloured ball, and whoever ball matches the same colour as the other wrestler, they will be teamed up. Example of this happened on AEW this week, where Nyla Rose picked out her colour and was matched to Hadrian Andrew, aka Cameron, who was a Funkadactyl in WWE and was part of the Total Divas TV show, which got an amazing pop from those inside the Wrestling Days community of the night, seeing her back on TV. Quality stuff by AEW with that. Then we go on to the main event, which was Jon Moxley and Darby Allin versus Brian Cage and Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks, as we all know, is from NWA. It's good to see NWA talent, or former NWA talent, getting used in a kind of major storylines, or at least the main event on AEW. Moxley and Darby Allin win that matchup, and also start a feud themselves, as the end there is a match signed ready for next week where Darby Allin will take on Jon Moxley. This is closed out the show as my wrestlers at the back just fall randomly on the floor. Awesome. It's going to stay that way, I'm not going to fix it now. Other things that happened on the show were Best Friends and Orange Cassidy taking on, they were also joined by Jurassic Express, and they took on the Inner Circle, which they beat them in the end. Then other matches were Hangman Page and Omega defending their tag team titles against the Dark Order, which was Evil Uno and Grayson. They retained successfully this week. Yeah, I give it a rating of 7 out of 10, just for the two surprises on the show. Pretty decent wrestling show, to be honest, but nothing too amazing. The first match was pretty drab and didn't really do much. Yeah, so it's got a rating of 7 out of 10. Right, we now go on to NXT, and I thoroughly enjoyed this show. Far better than AEW, to be honest. Well, to be honest, not far better, just a little bit better. I would rate it above AEW tonight. The highlights of the show. The match itself, what I'm going to announce now, is Imperium against Ever-Rise. The match itself was rubbish. It was just, Imperium dominating the jobber team. But it's what happened afterwards when Undisputed Era ran out to the ring and started the beatdown on Imperium, which is now setting up a match for next week where Imperium will face Undisputed Era, i.e. Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly. Should be an interesting match next week. The second one I like was Keith Lee in the ring. He delivered a really passionate promo. That passionate that he felt that he needed to swear constantly throughout it, which is okay, that's fine. It just shows that it means something to him, his title. Yeah, it's just good to see that kind of passion in a promo, which is a lot of the promos in WWE are quite tame and scripted to hell. But this felt like it was from his heart and was done off the cuff. When he issued the challenge to Karrion Kross, Cameron Grimes came down to the ring, surely just to get a beat down. There was no real point of him being there. As he was starting to get beaten up by Keith Lee, we got a second interruption by Scarlet, who came out to the ring to produce a video package behind her of Karrion Kross, saying that he wants a title shot, that he's coming for Keith Lee. Yeah, so that's what's happened there. So that's a pretty good promo with a good ending, and we're going to get to this match hopefully at TakeOver later next month. So pretty good promo. And then we go on to the NXT main event, which saw Dexter Lumis, Finn Balor and Timothy Thatcher in a triple threat match for the right to go into the ladder match at said TakeOver. Dexter Lumis won, which I'm pretty pleased at. He's an up-and-comer in NXT, and I think the North American title is pretty much for the up-and-comers. Finn Balor winning it wouldn't have made much sense, only to have him in DIY spots in the ladder match. But Dexter Lumis is a good choice. Quite happy with the main event. Other stuff on the show was a really good opening match by the females. We saw Io Shirai and Tegan Nox beat Candice LeRae and Dakota Kai. In another match was Johnny Gargano versus Roderick Strong, which Gargano won. Other matches were Mercedes Martinez beating Shotzi Blackheart, and as Wire Swerve Scott beating Jake Atlas. In segments throughout the show, we saw Rhea Ripley challenge Dakota Kai. So that match is going to be next week as well. And then another match was made on the show, which would see Damian Priest, Logan and Ridge Holland in a triple threat match for the right to go into the ladder match at TakeOver. Yeah, so all in all, very good show. Didn't really miss a beat. There wasn't really a toilet break match. Maybe the Swerve Scott match could have been missed. You wouldn't have noticed it. But other than that, it was a top quality show. I give it an 8 out of 10. Yeah, just because I was just fully entertained throughout. It was a good wrestling show. They literally give you 2 matches before they started messing around with promos and stuff like that, which is always good in my book. Okay. Oh man, where can I start? Literally from the moment I woke up this morning, all I have seen is the Fiend everywhere, on social media. Yeah, basically it's just all blown up. Yeah, let's get to the review. Let's have a look at it. And the episode of SmackDown last night started off with a Firefly Funhouse episode, which was really, yeah, I didn't give you too much information, but it just like, where's Braun? I'm looking for him. He's got some of mine. The Fiend's going to get him. That kind of usual promo kind of stuff, what you're expecting now from the Firefly Funhouse. Then we went into a match. There was plenty of action on this show, plenty of talking points. But, you know, we are question the talking point of the show was at the end. And it was epic. I can still hear Wrestling Days Now screaming. It was that epic. I think Jodie Gilly is still running around the streets of her neighbourhood screaming as well. Yeah, it was really good. To get what I'm talking about, at the end of the Bayley Nikki Cross match, Cross lost that match to Bayley, then took her frustrations out on Alexa. Alexa ended up on the floor. Nikki went back to the backstage area, and that's when everything kicked off. The lights went down, sound went off, the stadium went black, and then all of a sudden a red light appeared, and there he was, the Fiend, stood behind poor old Alexa Bliss, who was in the middle of the ring. He circled her a couple of times. It was really slow, didn't really know what he was going to do. Was he going to attack her? Was he going to give her a free ride? Well, going to gesture her to join him? Nobody knew. Nobody knew at the time. It was just really creepy. He slowly got down behind her, almost to comfort her at one stage, and then he put his hand in a position to mandible claw her. I was really shocked that he would even attempt to do that, and even more shocked when he did. He basically locked it in, and as Alexa Bliss fell back, the show ended. Oh, absolutely epic moment. Can't believe it. Even to a point where I got a message in my DMs on Twitter from Austin316, literally screaming at me, "You've got to see this. This is epic. You've got to see Wrestling Days' reaction video." And at first I thought he were on about Shorty G turning heel. Obviously not. Yeah, absolutely. Can't help but talk about how epic that moment was last night on SmackDown. It's probably one of the best highlights of 2020 in the wrestling world, in my humble opinion. Yeah, more of that, please, WWE. In saying that, there was other stuff on the show which was equally highlights, but just not on the same level, to be quite honest with you. The other highlights was, to be honest, the highlight is that you had 2 title matches on one episode of SmackDown. 2. Man, yeah, it's amazing. We had AJ Styles versus Grand Metalik, which AJ retained. Really good matchup. Grand Metalik looked really good in this match. Also is a member of the Lucha House Party. I'm not sure which one it is, to be honest. I'd have to say that it was Kalisto. It might not. It might have been the other one. But he got attacked after the fact, after the match had ended, and got put in a Styles clash. There was all kinds of other stuff what went off. Jeff Hardy cutting a promo in the ring. The matches between Lacey Evans and Naomi, which Naomi won. Big E in singles competition for the first time in a while against The Miz. He won by submission. Then there were a whole lot of ruckus and shenanigans going off in the back between Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. We've seen it kind of recently on Raw by accident, but yeah, this time actually air was taken off a wrestler. Yes, Mandy Rose receiving a COVID haircut. Yeah, really good show. There's lots of talking points on it, and any other week, the other, like Shorty G being a heel now, that would have been a major talking point. But it's just overshadowed by the Fiend. We can't Raw be like this. I mean, I remember when Raw was the talking point, the talk of the town. It's like, yeah, now I get it. The money's with SmackDown. And look at what they delivered in 2 hours. They have 3 hours on Raw, and they haven't delivered half as much as that. It's so disappointing. So, right, we're going to go on to who won this week, and I think you've already, saying that who's won. I'll give you the score of the show first, shall I? Yes, I give SmackDown last night at 8.5, best show of the week by far, and yes, they are the winners. Closely followed by NXT, who's also in this preview review. After that is Impact. Then second from bottom, AEW. Sorry guys, but I did think Impact were a little bit better. And then Raw topping it up with the lowest score of the week, or probably the lowest score ever. Need to pick it up. Need to get back into the habit of producing more storylines. So that's it. That's my weekly review finished, done with. I do hope to do a film review this week, maybe out on Tuesday, Monday, Tuesday, I'm not sure. Depends on how busy I get with prepping that video. Wednesday will be the usual first part of the review, which is Raw and Impact. Then back on Saturday for AEW, NXT, and of course SmackDown. Thanks for watching. I hope there's some funny moments in this video which you'll chuckle at, especially when the figures fell down. That was classic. Yeah. So, I have been Dave in real life. You, as always, have been awesome. And always remember to keep it real. Until the next time, bye for now.